Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Planet X Earthquake Creation Mechanism. Now, as I have detailed in many previous articles, Planet X system stellar cores have been entering the Earth's atmosphere for thousands of years and are now entering the Earth's atmosphere in increasing numbers. And you may look at article 410 entitled Planet X Inside the Earth's Atmosphere and article 480 entitled The Dark Sun, Planet X Now Entering Earth's Atmosphere in Large Numbers. These objects create certain destructive effects on the Earth through their gravitational interaction, amongst which is the breaking up of the surface of the Earth. And you may look at article 478 entitled Planet X Has Reached the Earth. And here you see what appears to at first be a hole in cloud, but if you look carefully you can see that the surface here is, and there is a surface, there is actually convex. In other words, it curves downwards. You can see the cloud following the curvature here of what is actually an object. And the object looks blue because there's a holographic projector emitting this blue light, illuminating it from below. And you can see it has this gravitational vortex connection here through which it's drawing material that looks dark gray. And it's actually punching a hole through cloud that its debris field, the dust in that debris field, actually generates. There's cloud condensation occurs around that dust, so this sort of cloud formation occurs. And you may look at article 479 entitled Planet X Creating Circular Holes in Clouds for more details. And these objects also break up the surface of the Earth, and what you see here is a circular region of the Earth's surface that has broken up, and this can only have been caused by Planet X system stellar core moving downwards over this spot on the surface of the Earth, reaching a minimum distance and moving back up again. And you may look at article 472 entitled Planet X Causes a Circular Shaped Region of Earth's Surface to Break Up. And it's gravitational wave which causes the Earth's surface to contract and expand that causes this break. And the fact that it is just a circular region shows you that this was a spherical object moving down over this region and causing this. It wasn't even moving along the surface as you see it occurring here. That one just moved downwards and then up again. So the Planet X system stellar cores are dead celestial objects, which are what is left of a star, a planet, or a moon. And what's left is just the original core and a debris field. The small of these objects, which are entering the Earth's atmosphere, are extremely disruptive as they create strong gravitational vortices through which they draw material from the Earth's atmosphere or surface, as well as create tidal bulges and rogue waves. Because they are dead or energy depleted, they are drawn to energy or light and can thus be controlled with light, i.e. laser technology. And you may look at article 487 entitled Can Planet X Be Under Intelligent Control? They can thus be induced to move to a particular region over the surface of the Earth in order to create the effect desired by the powers that be. The smaller objects create storms, slightly larger objects create weather systems, and even larger objects break up the surface, creating fissures and loosening the ground so that landslides occur. These objects can thus create the effect of an earthquake on the surface without an earthquake being felt, because no seismic wave traveled within the body of the Earth. And here you see one of these objects moving parallel to the surface of the Earth. It creates a gravitational wave on the surface of the Earth, where there are high density and low density regions. These actually form rings on the surface of the Earth. And as the object travels, then this wave travels with it and causes the Earth to contract and expand. In the high density region, it contracts. In the low density region, it expands. And as these regions travel across the surface, then it causes the Earth to break up, and that leads to the ground breaking and fissures to appear. And even if nothing is apparent, it may still have loosened the ground so that you get landslides. Now, very large objects do not create very strong gravitational vortices, but can cause earthquakes through the electrical interaction. This is because the cores are strongly positively charged and depleted in electrons. The Earth reacts to their presence by sending a current of electrons from its core in their direction. And this is illustrated here. So stellar cores are strongly positively charged because they are cores. They're cores of what was once a celestial object. The Earth has a core. The Earth is still generating lots of energy, and it still has electrons that it can send out to the surface. So it sends out currents of electrons in the object's direction. And it is the fact that they are positively charged that causes them never to impact the surface of the Earth. They are repelled because the Earth's core is also positively charged. And although it still has some electrons in it, which it is able to send out as a current. So the Earth reacts to the presence of a strongly positively charged object, a stellar core, by sending a large current of electrons in its direction. This current will tend to hit the rock and melt it, which may then cause it to break explosively, causing seismic waves to travel from that point and thus creating earthquakes. And the Earth, like all celestial objects, is supposed to have a positive core and a negatively charged outer layer. So when it detects a positive charge in its outer layer, it tends to send electrons in that direction to cancel that out, to cancel that positive charge there. And then a large amount of electric charge can cause rock to melt, slip, and explosively break so that an earthquake epicenter occurs at that point. An earthquake occurs. So the current will tend to travel along paths of least resistance, paths along which the current has most likely moved repeatedly over thousands of years, which will thus also be where the Earth has experienced a lot of earthquakes, which have broken the Earth and created what is called fault zones. The powers that be, knowing where they want to create earthquakes, will use their laser technology to send the stellar cores of the right size to the weakened zones, thus creating earthquakes in the same regions over and over again. They may also know how to destabilize each fault zone in turn in order to build up to a large earthquake at a particular point on the surface of the Earth. When the earthquake occurs, seismic body waves, PNS waves, travel from the earthquake epicenter. Surface waves, however, travel along the surface and are generated by the stellar core's gravitational wave affecting the surface of the Earth and creating surface fissures. Thus, body and surface seismic waves are produced by the same object, but come from two different effects the stellar cores have. One is electrical and the other is gravitational. It thus becomes possible to have surface waves without PNS waves if the electrical current created by the Earth was not strong enough to generate an explosive break or actual earthquake inside the Earth. As I mentioned in Article 485 entitled Locating Planet X and Predicting Earthquakes, these larger stellar cores are likely to create low-pressure weather systems over a wide region and may thus be located with respect to the surface of the Earth, thus allowing the prediction of earthquakes in that region. In conclusion, earthquakes do not seem to be natural events, but to be the result of the Planet X system's stellar cores approaching the the Earth and entering its atmosphere. These objects are strong absorbers of energy in the form of light, which allows these objects to be under intelligent control once they arrive at Earth. This allows the powers that be to use them to create earthquakes. Earthquakes have a gravitational and an electric part. The gravitational part is due to the stellar core's gravitational wave affecting the surface of the Earth, and the electrical part is due to the Earth's reaction to the presence of a stellar core, and the Earth's core sending a current of electrons in the object's direction. The gravitational part creates surface waves, and the electrical part can melt and break rock inside the Earth, which then creates seismic body waves. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.